The power's been out for 11 days. You're standing in your kitchen, and the fridge is a biohazard. That chicken you bought on sale is now a science experiment leaking brown fluid onto the shelf below. The bread on the counter is furry. The milk smells like something died inside something else that also died. You open every cabinet, and it hits you. Cereal, granola bars, pasta sauce with no way to boil pasta, a half-empty bag of chips, and 3 packets of soy sauce from a takeout order you don't even remember. Your stomach is eating itself. And you realize something that should terrify every single person watching this. You have a house full of food, and you're still starving. Most people think stockpiling food means buying more of what they already eat. That's the mistake that will hollow you out from the inside. Because 90% of what fills a modern American pantry will rot, spoil, or become useless within weeks of the grid going dark. The average household has roughly 3 days of real, calorie-dense food if you strip away everything that needs refrigeration or a functioning stove. 3 days. After that, you're just another hungry person in a city full of them. But you and we're not doing that today. We're going to walk through 13 specific items, the ones that actually keep you breathing when the world stops restocking shelves. Some of these you already know, some you've completely overlooked. And number 4 on this list is the one I'd grab first if I had 60 seconds and 1 shopping cart. Keep that in the back of your mind. Let's start. 13. Instant ramen. Yeah, I know, it's the college dorm cliché. But here's what people miss. 1 packet of ramen has around 380 calories, it weighs almost nothing, and it costs roughly 20 cents. You can eat it dry if you have to, crush it up like crackers. Shelf life? Practically forever if you keep it sealed. Is it nutritious? Barely. But in a calorie emergency, pride doesn't fill your stomach. Ramen does. 12. Rolled oats. 1 cup of dry oats packs about 300 calories, plus fiber, plus slow-burning carbs that won't spike your blood sugar and crash you into a wall 2 hours later. You don't even need to cook them. Cold water and 15 minutes of soaking, and you've got something edible. A single 5-pound bag gives you roughly 30 meals, 30, for about $4. 11. Canned vegetables. Corn, green beans, carrots, whatever's on sale. Canned veggies last 2 to 5 years, sometimes longer. And here's the thing almost nobody thinks about. That liquid inside the can? Don't dump it. It contains water-soluble vitamins that leached out during processing. In a scenario where clean water is currency, you drink every drop. That brine is a bonus you didn't pay extra for. 10. Dried beans and lentils. These are the backbone of survival nutrition worldwide, and they have been for literally thousands of years. Lentils in particular are a cheat code. They cook faster than any other dried legume, they're packed with protein, iron, and folate, and when stored properly in a cool, dark place, they'll last a decade. A single pound of dried lentils gives you roughly 1,500 calories and 100 grams of protein. Find me another food that cheap and that dense. I'll wait. 9. Powdered milk. Nobody gets excited about powdered milk. I get it. It tastes like disappointment mixed with chalk. But your body doesn't care about taste when it's running out of calcium and vitamin D. 1 cup of reconstituted powdered milk delivers about 80 calories plus nutrients you literally cannot get from rice and beans alone. And it lasts up to 25 years if sealed properly. 25! You could stockpile this today and your kids could open it. And if you're building a list in your head right now, do me a favor, hit subscribe, because the kind of information we talk about on this channel isn't the stuff that trends on social media. It's the stuff that keeps people fed when social media doesn't exist anymore. 8. Salt. People wildly underestimate salt. They think it's a seasoning. It's not. Salt is a survival tool that has toppled empires and started wars. Roman soldiers were partially paid in salt. That's where the word salary comes from. But here's why it makes this list. Salt preserves meat. It preserves fish. It preserves vegetables. It turns perishable food into non-perishable food. Without refrigeration, salt is your refrigerator. Stock at least 10 pounds. It never expires. Ever. 7. Canned fish. Sardines, tuna, salmon, mackerel. Canned fish is one of the most nutrient-dense, shelf-stable foods on the planet. A single can of sardines gives you protein, omega-3 fatty acids, calcium from the bones, vitamin D, and about 200 calories. The shelf life runs 3 to 5 years, often longer. And unlike canned chicken or beef, fish is already fully cooked and ready to eat cold, straight from the tin. No fire needed, no prep needed. Peel it open and eat. 6. Coconut oil. This one flies under most people's radar, and that's a mistake. Coconut oil is a fat, and fat is the most calorie-dense macronutrient you can store. 1 tablespoon gives you 120 calories. A single jar stores roughly 7,000 calories. It doesn't need refrigeration, it lasts 2 or more years unopened, and you can cook with it, use it to waterproof gear, treat dry, cracked skin, or even make a crude lamp with a cotton wick. A food that doubles as a tool. That's the kind of thinking that separates people who survive from people who just had good intentions. 5. White rice. Not brown rice, white. And most prepper lists won't tell you why, so I will. Brown rice contains oils in the bran layer that go rancid within 6 months to a year. White rice, with that bran stripped away, lasts 25 to 30 years when stored in a sealed container with oxygen absorbers. It's essentially immortal. 1 cup of dry white rice is about 675 calories. It's the caloric foundation of half the planet for a reason. Now, if you've ever actually gone through a real food shortage, even a mild one, a week-long power outage after a hurricane, a supply chain disruption, anything, drop a comment and tell me what you ran out of first. I'm genuinely curious because the answers almost always surprise people. 4. This is the one I told you about. Peanut butter. If I could only grab one item and walk out the door, this is it. A single 2-pound jar of peanut butter contains nearly 5,000 calories. 5,000. It's loaded with protein, healthy fats, and it doesn't need cooking, refrigeration, or even a can opener. You can eat it with a finger in the dark. Shelf life is 1 to 2 years for commercial jars, longer for the natural stuff stored cool. Calorie for calorie, dollar for dollar, there is nothing more efficient on a grocery shelf. Nothing. 3. Canned tomatoes. This might surprise you, but here's why they matter. Tomatoes are one of the few foods where processing actually increases the bioavailable lycopene, a powerful antioxidant. But forget the science for a second. Practically speaking, canned tomatoes are a flavor base. When you're eating rice and beans every day for weeks, morale isn't a luxury, it's a survival variable. Bland food leads to appetite fatigue, which leads to undereating, which leads to weakness. A can of tomatoes turns survival rations into something that almost resembles a meal. Never underestimate the power of a meal that doesn't taste like punishment. 2. Freeze-dried coffee. I know some of you just rolled your eyes, but you're wrong on this one. Coffee isn't a luxury in a crisis. It's a tool. Caffeine sharpens alertness, fights fatigue, and suppresses appetite during lean stretches. A jar of instant coffee lasts 20 years unopened and takes nothing but water. And beyond personal use, coffee becomes a barter weapon. When people are tired, scared, and running on adrenaline fumes, a cup of hot coffee has a trade value that would shock you. In post-disaster accounts from Bosnia, Hurricane Katrina, and the Argentine economic collapse, coffee and cigarettes consistently ranked among the top 5 most traded commodities. Stock it even if you don't drink it. 1. Honey, the undisputed champion of the survival pantry. Archaeologists found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs, still edible. That's not a typo. 3,000 years. Honey never spoils because its sugar concentration is so high and its moisture content so low that bacteria literally cannot survive in it. Its pH sits around 3.9, acidic enough to act as a hostile environment for nearly all microorganisms. But that's not all. Honey is a natural antiseptic. You can use it on wounds. You can use it to soothe burns. You can stir it into oats or tea for quick energy. It is food, medicine, and preservative rolled into a golden jar that outlasts civilizations. If that isn't nature's middle finger to decay, I don't know what is. Now here's why this list works as a system, not just a pile of groceries. Go back through it. You've got your caloric foundation. That's rice, oats, peanut butter. You've got your protein and micronutrients. Beans, canned fish, powdered milk. You've got your preservation and flavor tools. Salt, tomatoes, coconut oil. You've got your morale and barter assets. Coffee, honey, ramen. And you've got your long-game sustainability. Most of these items last years. Several last decades. A few last longer than some countries have existed. The biggest lie you've been told about food prep is that it's expensive, that you need freeze-dried survival buckets at $300 a pop. You don't. Everything on this list can be found at any grocery store. The full stockpile, a meaningful 30-day supply for one person, costs less than a decent pair of sneakers. The barrier was never money, it was knowing what to buy. Preparation is not paranoia. Paranoia is irrational fear. Preparation is a rational response to an irrational world. The person who stocks a pantry and never needs it loses nothing. The person who doesn't stock one and needs it loses everything. So think about that kitchen from the beginning, the dead fridge, the empty cabinets, the soy sauce packets. Now imagine opening that same cabinet and finding 30 pounds of rice, a row of canned sardines, a jar of honey that will outlive your grandchildren, and a 2-pound jar of peanut butter that buys you a week of thinking time while everyone else panics. Same kitchen, same person, completely different outcome. That's what 13 items and a weekend of shopping gets you. Not a bunker, not a fortress, just a fighting chance. If this video gave you even one idea you didn't have before, subscribe, because the next time the shelves go empty, the algorithm won't be there to recommend this to you.